Hello everyone, welcome back for more Let's Play Broken Sword, Shadow of the Templars Director's Cut. Joining me is the Yorkshire Raven.
Bonjour.
I mean, we are in France.
Yes.
So last we left off, let's see, George had managed to get himself underneath some catacombs or something it looked like. And, you, dear Nico, had managed to gank a key off of a dead woman. And yes, that is the way I'm choosing to phrase that. Let's see, I believe the next thing we need to actually do, we could look at stuff. Because it has been a couple of weeks since we last recorded anything. Change the music. Although that music's loud.
I'm not giving up. I really do not know where we are going, but I pray to God that we are gonna get there. Stay with me, don't
It doesn't want to turn off.
You call, but you never did. But you never did.
There we go.
It just took a while.
That is the biggest delay on a radio I've heard in a very long time.
That's basically got the radio off the back of a van.
Maybe.
But,
I'd say something, but I would be expecting to get stabbed for it. By Yoko.
I was expecting dear Yoko's disapproval of such comments.
In the dim light, I caught the reflection of something metallic. A small, sinister-looking metal disc had been tucked under my father's box. It was a bug. Oh, chère cousine, you left me a little present. You shouldn't have.
So yeah, they bugged her. They bugged her apartment. Not well, but they bugged her apartment.
You don't scare me. Espèce de...
Okay, so now...
She probably should be scared.
She probably should be, but, you
The
know...
box was carved by my father. It never had a key. The elephant on the lid was a perfect match to Carchon's.
So funny enough, the key that we got from Imelda's necklace just happens to be the right key for that box. Why?
I
Who
couldn't believe
knows?
it. Imelda's key opened my father's box. I dreaded what I was going to find inside.
You're going to find pictures.
Hey.
It was a photograph of Imelda. But why here? In my father's box? I felt as if a black hole had swallowed me up. Imelda and Carchon grinning. While behind them a village was being razed to the ground. Its people butchered. And there, next to them, staring out at me across the years, my own father. There was a letter. I feared there was even worse to come. Hotel St. Georges, Algiers, Friday. My darling Thierry, by the time you read this, you'll be safely out of Africa. You need not fear. Pierre and the organization do not know who you're really working for. Or about us. Did you think I would betray you? I could not. You wanted me to leave him, but I don't have your courage. I know too much of what has been going on here. They would find me and they would kill us both. Enjoy your life in Paris, Thierry. Your life of honor, of patriotic duty. Do they give medals to spies? No. They'll just give you a funny job in an embassy somewhere. I could never share that with you. Imagine me, a diplomat's wife. So I must stay here with Pierre, the two of us bound together by what we have done to this country. Au revoir, my love. You will be in my heart until I die. Imelda. Suddenly everything made sense. My father had been working undercover for the government. He was one of the good guys after all.
Debatably.
Yeah.
He and Imelda must have fallen in love. She'd found out who he really was, so he had to leave. It had broken her heart, but she had never revealed it to anyone. I knew I couldn't either. Whatever he was doing, he'd had good reason to keep it secret. I decided I would respect that and tell nobody.
You're sitting on a huge news story, I will say that.
Probably the biggest he ever ran across. The next morning.
Boy, that's gonna be
I knew
hell
it
on the
was
back.
George. For a moment I was tempted to pretend that I was out, or ask him to go away and come back later. But then... Come in.
Hello, George. So, where did you stay last night?
At McDevitt's. I got to drinking with Doyle and a couple of the guys.
That explains why you look so ill today. Did you get any sleep at all?
Not much. I had to share the room with another guy.
Did it snow?
Hardly. He was dead,
And you say Pigram has disappeared?
without a trace. But my visit wasn't a complete waste of time.
Pigram's gem?
The Templars gem. Whoever Jacques Marquet is, he's in for a disappointment.
Jacques Marquet?
He's the guy who should have collected the gem from Fitzgerald.
What are your plans?
I want to find out who, what, or where Montfaucon was. All I've got to go by is the name and a picture of a hanged man. Let's take another look at the manuscript.
It's been a little while since we looked at this manuscript.
There's a guy with a sword and a bull.
Us.
Between them is a gem supported by a tripod.
Not you viewers, but us two in this,
There's a guy
us two in
working
the
on a
recording
loom.
here.
A knight with a crystal ball.
Life
a night
happens.
scroll bears
Yep.
a phrase in Latin.
The holidays
Through my
kinda happened.
teachings, you
That's
will
kind
be
of what
enlightened.
happened.
There's a woman looking at her reflection in a mirror, but the reflection has 3 hideous faces.
Look there, 2 guys on the same horse. What are your plans?
I want to find out who, what, or where Montfaucon was. All I've got to go by is the name and a picture of a hanged man. Do you want this photograph back?
Going to see if we
No, you
need to
keep
give
it.
her anything.
I can always make another print.
I don't think we
Look,
need
Nico,
to
a
actually
handful of
do
plaster.
anything here.
Yeah. Why is it that men never really grow up?
What's your problem, sister?
Your pockets stuffed with useless junk like little boys.
You never know when useless junk might come in handy.
The adventure protagonist's, motto.
Yeah.
Maybe not. No.
Oh, you finally stopped showing the tissue to people.
No way.
Why?
No way. No way.
I was having fun
Do
watching
you
them
want to
make
look
fun
after
of
the
you.
gem?
No, George. I'd be too tempted to sell it.
Maybe not. I can't sit here all day, much as I'd like to.
Okay. Don't forget to look for Lopinot at the Kron Museum. And why don't you see if Rosso has heard anything?
Okay. Anything else I can do for you while I'm out? Shopping, a trip to the laundromat?
Just take care of yourself.
I'm out of bread. You can pick me up a loaf.
That'd be a real pain. I think
I so
Yoko's
much wanted
screaming
to
and
talk
doesn't
to
know
George
why.
about everything that had happened, but I knew I never could. My father's connection to Africa would have to remain a secret forever. His bravery would be known only to the government and to me. Revealing it would just damage his memory. People would take the story and twist it. Before long, he would be the villain and Carchon would be the hero. I know how they do that. I'm a journalist.
I was expecting, excessive. Yoko knows this game, at least knows of this game, sees that we're the LP in it, knows what we're like.
Yeah, but you said bread, and then I said it had to be a real pain. I figure Yoko's ready to stab me for that one.
I'm sure at this stage, after all these years, he has quite the list for she wishes to stab the pair of us.
Oh, probably. So, we've come to basically the police station here. Because we can get information here. Although you're not actually going to do anything, alright. You don't actually have anyone to call, but you would let me interact with the phone. Okay. Is there anything else I can interact with? Okay, the entire back area we can't actually get into.
It's a big old tease.
It was just some police paperwork, a search warrant.
Is a search warrant for you?
It was a search warrant for someone named Robert Overman. Not a name that I recognized.
No, okay.
It seriously sounds like for the main two, they kept recording their sessions in different locations.
It sounds like whenever they... It sounds like there were about 4 different locations used.
Yeah.
And it actually sounds like they brought the 2 of them in to record their lines in the same room whenever they had dialogue like that, too.
Sergeant Moo?
Yes.
But see here, it sounds just like a completely different space.
I know the identity of the dead guy. His name was Plantow.
Is that so? You knew him, did you?
No, but
We'll know everything there is to know about him soon enough.
I'm trying to be helpful here.
The best way you can help us is to go home, monsieur.
I'd like to report an assault.
Yes, monsieur? Where is the victim?
I'm the victim. I've been harassed by a pair of thugs.
I see. And where did this alleged assault take place?
Outside the Hotel Ubu. They stopped me as I was leaving and went through my pockets.
Could you describe the suspects, monsieur?
One looked like a gorilla, and the other looked like a weasel. Their names are Flap and Guido.
Bon. I'll get them this time.
Have you
This
heard of a
time.
man called Marquet?
Yes. He used to be known as the Mole of Montmartre. I heard he's been hospitalized, probably by one of his rivals.
So, someone we care about
You know a
in the
man named
hospital.
Khan? He's a shifty-looking guy with a scar on his left cheek.
No, monsieur.
He also calls himself Thomas Moerlin.
I'm sorry, Monsieur Stobart. I don't know him. Has this man any connection with the bombing of the cafe?
Yes. I believe Khan was the name he used when he hired the clown costume. Which hospital was Marquet taken to?
The Hagenmeyer Clinic in the Avenue des Hérissons.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
No, monsieur.
It's the guy who bombed the cafe. The clown.
This man looks nothing like a clown.
He's taken off his grease paint and costume.
Then there is nothing to link this man with the killing.
Nothing? Look at those murderous eyes.
Hardly likely to get him convicted.
You know, it's just one of those things where he's being dense on purpose just to annoy George. And I can respect that.
Maybe not.
And he does have a point
I
of
found
there's
this red
nothing to
note in
link
the
him.
sewer.
What were you doing down there?
Fishing for clues. That's where the clown went.
You still insist you saw a clown, monsieur?
Of course. And this novelty nose proves it.
It will take more than a plastic proboscis to convince Inspector Rousseau.
You don't want this as evidence, then?
Certainly not, monsieur.
Do you recognize this dirty tissue?
No, monsieur, I do not.
I found it in the sewer.
Perhaps it would be better if you put it back there.
No way. This could be an important clue.
If you say so, monsieur.
Would you like to shake my hand, Sergeant?
Not while I'm on duty, monsieur. The gesture could be misconstrued.
What do you suppose this tool is used for, Sergeant Moo?
It looks like something an obstetrician would use, monsieur.
It was with tools like this that the clown made his escape.
I don't understand.
He opened up the hole and disappeared into the bowels of the earth.
If you say so, monsieur.
An obstetrician. An obstetrician would use that. For what?
It's probably best we never know.
What does this guy think doctors do? Wow.
Does this matchbook mean anything to you, Sergeant?
That's a double-lined Swedish with a crosshatch Bergman strike strip. Now, that's unusual. Pre-war Anderson hinging.
Really?
I haven't seen a reinforced Anderson outside of a private collection.
It's rare, then?
In this part of the world, yes. There are only 3 places these are made. Taiwan, Manila, and Slough.
Well, it's a rare item then.
Maybe not. No. Why was Marquet known as the Mole of Montmartre?
Because he lived in Montmartre, I suppose.
Yeah, but why the mole?
I don't know. Maybe he ruined people's lawns.
See you later,
We need a
Sergeant.
hobby.
Yeah. He belonged to a homeowners association.
You God no.
So, let's see if I can find it here. Here it is. Hospital. So now that we know where this guy is, please tell me you're going to try to steal that ambulance.
I felt a little guilty as I tried the door, like I was about to rob a grave. I gripped the handle with an involuntary tremble in my hand and pulled. The door was locked.
Hey, you know, locking a door on an ambulance is kind of a mixed bag. On one hand, yeah, you're protecting the ambulance from getting robbed. On the other, gonna take you an extra second to get in there in an emergency. Let's see.
Oh God, that doctor.
Before we start talking to people, let's have ourselves a little look around. Or just apparently get lost.
How'd you get lost in a hospital?
Some of the hospitals around here have some pretty arcane designs.
Excuse me,
Yes, sir?
is this the Hagenmeyer Clinic?
That's correct.
I thought I was in a garden center.
Oh, the plants. They were my idea. A little greenery to evoke the spirit of nature. How may I help you?
Boy, you don't sound French. That is very much not a French accent.
No.
Have you seen this man here at the clinic?
No, sir. And I never forget a face.
Is this plaster any use to you?
I'm allergic to plaster.
Allergic to plaster.
What does this false nose remind you of?
Oh, it's a clown's nose.
You vaguely got a hint of a Lucille Ball accent going on there.
Can you think of any use for this greasy tissue?
I guess you could use it to baste a roast turkey.
I'd like to shake you by the hand.
Don't be fresh, young man.
What does this tool suggest to you?
Is it a crack detector?
Huh?
Polar explorers use them to poke about in the snow.
Oh, no. Have you heard of the Club Alamet?
No. It sounds romantic, doesn't it?
Look at this ID pass.
So you're Moerlin. Marquet's been asking for you.
For me?
Hello?
Yes. He was shouting your name when they brought him in here. Now, let me see. He was on Ward B12, as I recall. Oh, he's being transferred to... Oh, dear. He's on Ward J2. That's Nurse Grendel's ward.
Nurse Grindel's ward.
What does this gem suggest to you?
I advise you not to flash that around.
What's so bad about Nurse Grendel?
She runs that ward like a South American prison.
Keeping a well-disciplined ward isn't a crime, is it?
Well disciplined. In the discipline and punishment stakes, she'd whip the butt off the Marquis de Sade. Everything, I mean everything, is done to a strict routine. 6 o'clock alarm call, 6:10 bowel movements, and woe betide anyone who doesn't have a result. Those patients of hers are like Pavlova's dogs.
She sounds like a real nightmare.
And then some.
If Nurse Grendel is that bad, how come the authorities tolerate her?
She's like part of the furniture.
I was beginning to get the picture. This woman was jealous, with a big green capital J. How do I find Nurse Grendel's ward?
Down the corridor on the left, turn right at the senior consultant's washroom. Right again at the executive coffee lounge. Bear left past the administrator's sauna, and turn left at the end. That's J2. And good luck.
Thanks for your help, ma'am.
You're welcome.
So, now we have a location to where we can find someone we're looking for. But we might run into a small problem once we're there. Oh, we have one more person we can talk to. And we will talk to them in the next video because it is time to hang it up for this one. So, until then, take care everyone.
Later, folks.